So we've done a lot of work to this file, which means now would be a great time to save. So let's choose File, Save As, and we will call this document really anything you want, maybe something like Comp1. It's the first iteration of this design. And I'm going to twirl down this menu here so I can see exactly where I'm saving, and I'm going to choose the desktop inside my project files, Part 1, Lesson 1, and I'm going to save it in the completed folder. You can see here I've already done this one time for you as invitation.indd, so you might want to make sure you choose a different file name, and I generally recommend that you do use the INDD extension. That's InDesign Document, and it just makes things in a cross-platform world a little bit easier. So making sure that you're saving the file in the completed folder, go ahead and click Save. Should take just a moment, and we're just about ready to export this file as an Adobe PDF document ready for professional printing. But before we do that, we want to make a few quick checks. First of all, over here at the very bottom of the toolbar, you'll notice that we're in the normal viewing mode. If you click and hold on this icon, you'll see that we actually have several other options, including Preview, Bleed, and Slug. So let's switch to the Preview mode. Select the selection tool and just click off here on the pasteboard so that nothing is selected. This preview mode essentially shows you all of your document trimmed down to the trim size, but without all of the guides, grids, frame edges, and so on. This page is looking pretty good. Let's press Command J or Control J on Windows to use the Go to Page command, and we'll jump to page 1. This page also looks pretty good, but what's really important, back here in this pull down at the bottom of the toolbar, let's choose the bleed option. That will show us the bleed value all the way around the document size. That allows us to check and make sure that we are using the bleed that we have set up. That's very important for when this final printed piece is printed, cut, and trimmed down. Now there are several ways to print this document. For example, if we go up to the File menu and choose Print, we have a very robust print dialog box that's actually very consistent with the rest of the Creative Suite 3 apps, including Photoshop and Illustrator. As we go down the categories here on the left-hand side, we see all sorts of different advanced printing options. We won't get into all of these right now, but just know that these are available to you. Now for printing on your own desktop printer, like in your office or your studio, this is a great option. But at this point, let's press Cancel and look at a few other options that are at your fingertips. Frequently, you won't be printing the final output. Instead, you might want to package this file for your service provider. So in that case, you would choose File, Package. You can include some of your contact information here. I'm going to skip that for now and just choose Continue. And InDesign will offer to save all of my assets, including not only my InDesign layout, but all of my fonts, all of my linked graphics, and it will even update all of the linked graphics inside this new package that it drops here into a folder, and you can save this anywhere you want. So if your printer wants to only deal with your native InDesign files, this is the way to go. At this point, I'm going to press Cancel because I don't want to package this. I actually want to show you my favorite output option, the one that I use most frequently, and that is File, Adobe PDF Presets. We can export to all sorts of file formats like EPS and JPEG, but PDF is the one I use most often. So from this PDF Presets menu, I'll choose Press Quality. At this point, you should give your PDF a custom file name. In this case, it's just using the file name from the InDesign document and appending the PDF extension, and I'll click Save. Again, very similar to the print dialog box, lots of options. You notice here for image compression, it has very high resolution. Under marks and bleeds, I'm going to make sure I turn on all of my printer marks, including crop marks, bleed marks, and so on, all the information they need to know how to print and trim this down. We have several other options that we're going to skip for now. Just jump back to General, and the last thing I want to enable is to make sure that I view this PDF automatically after exporting. At this point, I'll click Export and let InDesign do its work. This export process should take just a moment. It's a pretty quick process. When it's done, it opens up the PDF inside of Acrobat. I'll press Command-0 on the Mac or Control-0 on Windows to fit the entire page in the window, and we can see our final printed piece. Up here at the top, I'll click the Next button just to see how this looks on page 2. Notice all of my crop marks, my trim marks, my color bars. Everything is looking great, and I'm ready to deliver this to my printer.